Hey traders, Jason here from Lever Brothers. So in this video, I'm going to talk about playing bottoming formations. The market's been kind of chaotic lately. Volatility is super high, big moves in both directions. You might think the moves are random, but some technical indicators have actually pinpointed or have actually been pretty good about calling turns in both directions. So I'm going to cover some of those here. If this is interesting to you, okay, and one of the keys to trading is just find something simple that works, that kind of fits your personality. So if you can grab a nugget or two here, that'd be great. Not expecting everyone to copy off me. I certainly wouldn't recommend that, but just, if you grab a nugget from this, that's fine. If this is interesting to you and you want more information, I'm going to be speaking for the Money Show in like 2 weeks. And I'll put a link below this video if you want to go check that out. Okay, so this video is only going to be a handful of minutes. When I speak at the Money Show, it's going to be more like 30 minutes. We're going to go into a little bit more detail. All right, let's go into some trade ideas without getting too bogged down with all the information. All right, so here is CONL. It's a leveraged ETF from Coin. Okay, and what I'd use, and just to kind of, as a quick overview, I use RSI 12, which is slightly different than the RSI 14, which is typically the default setting, MACD 12.26.9, which is the default setting, and then the stochastic 5.3. Okay, standard stuff available on all charting platforms, nothing special here. I don't have access to information that people don't have access to. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for a move up that kind of gets the ball rolling. Then I'm looking for the stock to fade back, and I'm looking for the indicators to act a certain way when it fades back. And then I look to play the second move. Okay, so what happens here is we have right over here, the stock moves up. Okay, when it moved up, the RSI broke out of a little base here. We had a positive divergence with MACD histogram, and then we crossed up right there, and the stochastic was moving up. Okay, so that's the first move. The first move crosses the RSI up, gets it out of a base. It crosses the MACD up, and it typically crosses the stochastic up. Then there's a fade backwards, okay? And during this fade, notice that the RSI mostly held up. It did not fall back to its low. The MACD came down and touched, the black line came down and touched its red line. It did not cross back down. It just came down and kissed it. And the stochastic just cycled down and then started to cycle back up. So you get a move up from the stock. Well, that's bad. You get the stock moves up, it fades backwards, and then it moves up again. I'm looking to play that second move. And what I'm using as like a timing is I'm looking for the kiss over here. I'm looking for minimal damage over here from the RSI. I'm looking for the kiss over here with the MACD, and I'm looking for the stochastic to cycle down and cross in the up direction. When I get all that, then we get the second move of the trade there. And in this case, the stock moved from 10-11 down here at the bottom up to 15. The fact that it gapped down and kind of did some backing and filling does not matter. The setup is there. It could have gone higher. In this case, it went from 11 to 14, which is a really good trade. All right, let's look at another one. Here is CrowdStrike. Okay, so again, we're looking for a move, we're looking for a counter move, and then we want to play the second move. Okay, so here is the first move. Here's the second, here's the fade, and then we want to play, or at least I want to play the next move. Okay, so during that first move, RSI comes out of a base. You have MACD crossing up. You have stochastic crossed up here in the middle and continued up. Okay, so the first move got all these indicators going. Then during the fade, which is right here, you have minimal damage done to the RSI. You have the MACD comes down and kisses here. Okay, it does not cross back down. And the stochastic simply cycles down and recrosses. Okay, and then so as a matter of timing, typically the entry comes with the stochastic crossing. Okay, so you get a move up, a move down, and then a move up. And then you can see the sequence that plays out here. So, okay, so we're not really guessing. The market was volatile. There was some big moves in both directions. But the indicators actually played out pretty well. Next up, PLTU, which is a leveraged version of Palantir. Okay, we got move up here. We got the fade backwards, and then a subsequent move up. So on the first move up, this thing kind of crosses out of a base. It was, down here below 30, then it, crosses up there. You get the MACD crosses up. You get the stochastic, which had already crossed up, was trending up. Then during the fade, which is right here, RSI pulls back, but minimal damage done. It doesn't go all the way down to the low. The MACD kisses right here. The stochastic crosses there. Okay, it's what I call my kissing cross trade. And then you get leg 2 of the move. Okay, and in this case, it went from like 24 up to 30, faded back, and then it went up into the mid-30s. I mean, that's a fantastic move. If you just master that, you're a full-time trader doing pretty darn well. All right, last example, TSLL, the leveraged version of Tesla. We get a move up. We get a fade back down, in this case, like a double bottom, and then a second move up. During the first move up, we get this kind of breaks out of a bottom here. We had MACD crossed here. Stochastic was moving up here. Okay, so the first move kind of gets the ball rolling with all these indicators. Then on the fade backwards, the RSI holds up fairly well, doesn't drop back down into below 30. MACD kisses, stochastic cross cycles down and crosses, and then we get a second move. Okay, pretty simple stuff, standard indicators. I'm using a lot of like volatile stocks here, so you can tell that even with volatile stocks, it works. Again, to be a solid trader, you need a simple setup that works, something that fits your personality, something that you can execute comfortably within your comfort zone. Practice it, get good at it, study it, learn the nuances of it. If you can just master one simple setup, you're pretty much set. Okay, so if you can grab a nugget or two here, that'd be great. If you want me to go into more detail about this, you want me to listen to me talk about this in more detail, check out my MoneyShow presentation, which will be in about 2 weeks. I'll put a link below the video here. All right, hope you got something out of this, and we'll see you next time.